Today I would like to share some thoughts on the mind. I started writing a summary of a foundation that I am calling Foundation New World. On this planet, we have a lot of things taking place at the same time. No matter how long you are here, this life is very short in comparison to eternity. Foundation New World. First, there was an idea about a foundation for creating the full circle in life for the people looking for the answer. Answers are not always easy to come up with in these situations we are going after. But with the right two or more brains communicating, anything in this world is possible. The Foundation New World is going to revolve around our communities nationwide and lifting spirits, deserving or not. Every person out there might have a question, and we might be able to have that answer and save their life. It involves our military, disabled vets, mental disabilities, amputees, autism, felons, elderly, school and college dropouts, guidance programs leading people to a career by either funding or space available, finding homeless people and getting them into a new lifestyle with a career that will fit their needs, reaching out there for many that may not believe in something or feel that they have missed their shot. If we change one life, then it will be worth it. It took one life with mind, body, and soul to see what's going on around here. With the power of the people and solid minds, we can make this happen. This is a very serious matter. It's also time sensitive. Foundation New World is starting its plan in South Florida and going nationwide to reach out, making this world a better place. This is being created to help prevent individuals from being placed in that tougher situation and be able to have that plan of action. Knowing that you have a plan of action can lift the spirit of an individual and help this world. The people need goals that are achievable without being burnt out before reaching that goal. Not everyone has the same lifespan on this planet. Topic: military. Discharged. When the personnel from our nation's military are discharged and their training and skill set is different than needed in the community, this is when Foundation New World steps into action by taking that extra step that starts with guidance and communication. Boot camp. This subject is going to touch on those individuals who are being ejected from the military training. This move can create that emptiness amongst people and their families and friends. People need to notice and accept this is still a great person because they tried for that something. This is where we need to extend what we have available in this world before their very eyes. There are many different types of careers out here in this world today. By us listening and providing options of endless opportunities, the goal here is to uplift these individuals for the next challenge. Disabled vets. Vets make the world go round. Our military is amazing with its numbers and power, but there are those who are in need of more necessities after that life in the military. Some of these situations are not only sad, but can be very disappointing. There will be some very special situations among this group of individuals, like paid living situations and extended health care along with medical supplies. Our military is strong enough to help build for these vets in these situations, along with our community leaders and getting involved and working together. Now here's where it gets interesting. Our brothers and sisters will need that something that is constructive to intrigue that positive string in their minds. This is where we come in to provide different options with availability at a reasonable time. People lose everything they have out there waiting for an answer on getting the job or moving into that career choice. There is going to be many questions that need attention with depth. Every day people lose waiting on that answer. There are many different circumstances for the word disabled vets. First thing is getting them what they need to have a stable living situation to complete their circle of life. The last thing any of us want to see is a vet or any military personnel holding a sign for help. Mental disabilities. This is something happening to many people in our world today in high numbers. Most of the time, this is based on a person's actions and reactions, among others. This is the kind of disability is one of the most difficult to notice due to the fact that it lies in the brain of the human body. Each individual is a completely different situation, so there's not a stamping process to address this detail. It starts with knowing the people within the community and their history. By taking that extra step, helping change the world, it makes a difference what the individuals have in their plan. Not every person knows what this world has to offer, and we can help by listening and by providing options to stimulate that string in the brain. Amputees. This is a part of the foundation we will be covering both military and non-military amputees. In this situation, to completely come around full circle, it is going to be a combination of many things. The most important is a mental state before and during this process. There is no doubt that depression is going to happen. While the healing process is taking place depending on the age and condition of this person, this is when we go to work lining up that future to keep this person focused, finding that special activity or mental stimulation to keep their mind in forward motion. Depression is a very serious case that changes one's life forever. With any social experience, you will know people don't reach out for help just speaking about the things that might be bothering them or they can't change. The answer here is finding that person that can connect with the individual in depth to start building a relationship or continuing one they already have. This is called teamwork all the way around, including family, friends, doctors, and nurses. The second part in this process is the prosthetic parts needed in these situations, covering the cost while not being able to work during the healing process. Another option is having the prosthetic donated. Some of these pieces require custom fitting and molding and can be very costly. The last thing these folks need while facing this situation is to feel they can't afford the help. America is better than that. This is when we stand up and think about how to make it happen, and we can. We need as many brains and bodies to come out together who are wanting and willing to help. This is where you start caring about others, and for those of you who are already there, God bless you. Autism. There are many parents out there who are raising young adults with autism. There are 3 different types of autism: spectrum disorders, autistic disorders, also called classic autism, Asperger's syndrome, pervasive development disorders, not otherwise specified, PDD, NOS, also called atypical autism. There are 2 situations where Foundation New World comes in. One is a building structured place that is very unique and has a feeling that opens their eyes to a whole new world. This place should have all the resources and tools needed above and beyond, with things like video games, iPads, computers, and any new electronics coming out. Each section needed to have theme, for example, places to trace and draw on multiple light drawing tables. There should be rooms that intrigue their sight or visual attraction with lighting and holograms. Some of these places within the Foundation New World will be for participants only, meaning no guardian in the room while their life is in motion, creating a one-way wall or glass mirror in place. While having this in place, supplying creative learning tools helping to create the next future. Next on the list will be more than one sound room with overwhelming highs and lows. It will be great if we could combine this all into one extremely large room, not shaped like a box. The reason for separate rooms, they need to feel like they own the world in this place. Foundation New World knows that these young adults are not underprivileged, but in some cases extremely smart. Anyone working on this team will need to be in costume at all time, creating characters and costumes from the moment you arrive at the property. The property will need to be fenced or walled off, and before entering, you will need to go through security. Parking will be separated from the actual building structure, and we will provide transportation by unique source that is yet to be revealed. Second situation is to help provide these parents or guardians with the learning tools of the future for our young adults. Teachers and educational specialists know that neurotypical children learn best when exposed to varied teaching approaches. While children have preferred learning styles that make it more likely for them to integrate and apply new concepts, they are able to take information in from multimodal approaches, meaning characterized by several different modes of activity or occurrences. According to educational theorist Neil Fleming Vark, model of student learning, there are 3 learning styles to consider when assessing how to teach your child: visual, oral, and auditorial, read-write preferences, and kinetics and tactical. Because children with autism tend to be learning styles specific learners, these learning styles should be advised classroom environments, teaching strategies and instructional approaches to circular content. Felons. After a person becomes a felon, losing some of their rights, this makes them being able to establish extremely difficult and pushing some of them outside the community activities, which is only creating more future crime. We need answers, and this is where Foundation New World will do what they can to help create these answers. The one right answer is what this world is missing, not trying to create confusion among the living. Regardless, felon or not, these people are still very much human beings. It starts with having a place to live or a place to create income. Without having this in place, a person is constantly being moved around, which only leads to the future of the homeless, which is already a major problem within America. There are a few things one needs in order to rehabilitate a person, starting with a living situation and a source of income, grant, or donation. Next is an activity, sport, or some kind of mind stimulation, and in most cases requires some amount of money. If they have a family that can keep the peace within the household, then this would be a start. Next step is there are plenty of animals out there that need care, and placing them with the right person could help. Stepping in and making sure that the food for these animals is taken care of, either by donation or funding. People are already living to work every day and still losing the financial battle. With the weight of being a felon on their shoulders, Foundation New World wants to help lift up by people removing some of the stress of their everyday living going into their new future. Foundation New World wants to help by connecting with the business owners who are willing to help create these opportunities. On the list of creating new opportunities would be working to create new business owners, along with sharing new ideas for a more mind-stimulating source of income that starts out with guidance and passing on the knowledge on a born creation. Elderly. There are several doors to open on this subject. First is not to see an elderly person or any human being living in a homeless situation. Living assistance is a costly ending for a person growing older. Foundation New World wants to be able to assist in working with as many reachable people as possible, starting with medical conditions and getting them the help they need. If they're going to be homeless, then the least we can do is try to keep them as healthy as possible. While they're out there hurting or in pain, Foundation New World would like to create a health insurance coverage plan to help these in need. I know most of us are relying on the new generation for our future, but the wisdom is going to come from the old and wise. This is a very difficult situation here in our community. Another thing is providing a food card with enough available funds to eat with, without having to struggle to find illegal paying jobs for cash just to eat and survive. If they already are homeless, how could you expect them to keep track of all their tax records and paperwork while having them constantly moving around in the weather? This leads people to be in a situation that they need not be in, creating problems within the community. By creating this type of situation is only creating an uprise within the legal system.
School and college dropouts. Florida's graduation rate is 80.7%, but that does not mean that 19.3% of the students in cohorts are dropouts. Students in cohorts can be classified as graduates, dropouts, and non-graduates. Non-graduates include students who have been retained or are still in school receiving certificates of completion or receive GED-based diplomas. In Florida's 2015-2016 cohorts, 3.8% of the students dropped out and 15.5% are still enrolled in school earned a certificate of completion, special diploma, or GED-based diploma. Figure 2 illustrates the proportions of students in the 2015-2016 cohorts who graduated, dropped out, and did not graduate. This means that 7,492 high school students have dropped out in the state of Florida. Reaching out and creating another option is the answer here. Now, the plan is going to take a building process to open a door to this new program with a track showing and leading to opportunities. Most of the people going through high school aren't aware of every path that can lead to success. Success is what needs to be drilled for creating that uplifting future. The goal here is to reach out to the young adults to be able to keep their interest long enough that they can listen or are paying attention. The quest is teaching, sharing information with them, not realizing they're following. Guidance program leading people to a career by either funding or space available. A guidance program with a team of reaching out individuals into the community to take that challenge of sharing their time and knowledge. There are many reasons that we are dealing with the situation within population. A few reasons are sometimes the skills of the individual, or it could be monetary. This is where a leader can step in and assist either by completing tasks required in place of the individual. If it is monetary, then take the next step by opening new doors and creating ideas helping ones reach these paths and goals. There are many situations where there is available space within a class, and with the right resources, the leader could open these doors to allow people to continue their education. Finding homeless people and getting them into a new lifestyle with a career that fits their needs. This means opening a door to complete change in lifestyle for the positive in life. Now, the one thing we can create is the setup of surroundings in an area. Helping people survive in a better state of mind is the goal. There is always going to be a higher power with control that can lay someone down or pick them up, and this we can only pray in this type of situation. Thanks for watching.